So there are a number of reasons that people may not like Discord, and there are actually a number of other alternatives to Discord per se that some are familiar, some less familiar, some have more features, others have like not so good features. So I I'm just gonna kind of show you some options, and actually this was really an idea that came to mind because of a more recent one that's popped up that I think I'll go over as the last one. But if you find this helpful, don't forget to like do that algorithm boosting stuff and leave a comment. If you've got like something else that is another alternative that I don't mention or that you can use in place of Discord, then you can let me know as well. But yeah, so when it comes to Discord, basically fold down, it's basically chat. You've got your general text chat channels that we all know and love. You've got the voice chat channels that kind of do their own thing, categories, and that's kind of what you're limited to. You do have friends and a couple other things that you can work with, but for the most part, it's voice chat, text chat. That's about it. You have certain abilities for like text and source code and working with that, and then of course you've got your user list of who's online and whatnot. But I think some of the more prominent like alternatives, you could say, have been around for much longer. So I mean, yes, you have Slack, but even Slack was basically spawned from the idea of IRC. IRC's been around since forever. There are lots of applications to connect to IRC, and it's just straight up text chat, which is what Discord and Slack basically started out as, was basically just a text chat thing. And so of course you've got servers, you've got channels on those servers and things like that. So of course some things have changed in IRC recently, but that's okay. So you've got WeChat as an option, and then you've also got Hex Chat. These are very extendable. You can do lots of cool things with it. I mean, people have been programming IRC bots for the longest time, and there really hasn't been a need for... There's an API of sorts, but it's not really that big of a deal. And you can even connect to Twitch chat over IRC. So you can sit here and look at who's in your chat and see the users that are in your chat from IRC. It's really cool and old. The other one that you run into as an option is Xmpp. So this is basically chat that you, in essence, is kind of like IRC in a sense, but it's got a lot of extensions to it, so you can have file embeds, and like the Xmpp protocol has a lot of extensions or XCPs that you can add to it to give your particular Xmpp server more, what's the word? More uses, so you can do that kind of send files and things like that. IRC has kind of the same thing where you can do file sharing. Some people use IRC literally to like watch anime and stuff. So both of these are pretty good, even though they're like much older than Discord and all the other ones that I have like here to show the alternatives. These are old, they're very mature, and in many ways they are somewhat more robust, just due to the fact that Discord is centralized. Xmpp isn't even really centralized. You can start up your own personal Xmpp server and connect to other chat rooms on other servers. So it's a federated chat, kind of like Matrix is, except it's much more simple and it doesn't have a fancy front end that you have to use or whatever. And Xmpp also supports encryption as well. So going into that, the next one you've got is basically Element, or the matrix protocol. So you've got the option to basically play around with some other things. It does have like voice chat and video chat through Jitsi. It kind of uses that as a backend. You can also set up your own instance of Matrix so you can have your chat on there as well and create your own rooms. It's becoming more organized, somewhat like Discord, in that you can create spaces which in essence act as the space acts almost like a server that you can group all your rooms into, and the space is a room just like the other rooms, and it's just a room that links to other rooms and shows you cool things that way, is basically how it works in the back end. But you then can look at all the channels, you can add them to your list, or you can just sort them out. And you can even create your own private spaces to sort different rooms into. So if you want to keep certain people in a certain category or certain kinds of things, Spaces lets you do that. It does have support to let you embed different images and whatnot into it, somewhat like Discord. So you can have your video memes and everything else, your image memes and whatnot, and it'll load up fine into it. It does load YouTube a little bit differently. It loads the embeds differently than Discord does. So you can't watch all of those YouTube embeds all the time from it the same way that you would in Discord. But it does allow you to do like source code stuff and things like that as well. So that's an option. And of course, it's got a Discord bridge. So you can bridge your Discord channels to different rooms and manage it that way. So in some ways, it doesn't have the same functionality. In some ways, it does have much of the same functionality. It has the basics. So the next one is Gilded. Gilded is kind of one that's been... It's more recent than Matrix, but it's somewhat more mature than some of the others, and it's got a ton of other features that Discord doesn't have. So of course it has your standard text channels that you can use, and in those text channels, yes, you can do threading. So it does let you thread conversations, and you can sit there and continue your threads that way. In the text channels, it does do embeds, somewhat like Discord does. So if I go into... So one special thing it has is an announcements channel. You kind of have this idea with the way you set up text channels in Discord, but with Gilded's announcement channels, it's basically like a blog post that you can add a title to. So if I go here, you can see I can add a title, and then I add the body to it. It has a full rich text formatting with it as well. So you can create forms and polls inside of your announcements as well. And embed media, you've got your block code and things like that. So you've got all the same stuff as Discord, except it's got like this fancy little interface to go with it because you're basically doing a blog post. So, and yeah, it has spoiler tags too. So it does the video embeds sort of like this in this particular form. I think, where is it? Not sure. I believe I have an example somewhere in here, but I am not sure where it's gone to. So, on top of that, you do have webhooks that you can take advantage of as well. So, obviously, the webhook that I had going kind of stopped in April, so some things didn't quite go up because I wasn't active with it, but yeah. So text channels, embeds, they're mostly the same. So the big difference is in voice channels. So what's interesting is you go into a channel and you've actually got different rooms in the channel. So you can join the main lobby and you can hang out in here. You can join a room and you can be in there. But you've also got the text chat that is basically right connected to it right in the voice channel. So it's a lot like TeamSpeak and Mumble in the voice channels, in that you can have multiple different rooms, and then you've also got the voice chat and this or text chat, and it's connected to the voice channel, so you don't have to create a separate voice channel and this, that, and the other in order to do text chat. So I could sit here and I could upload an image into a text chat and it would go up. I could go, let's go to, pick on this one. Don't play on me. I said don't play on me. So, as you probably saw, it's basically exactly the same as a text channel. So you can do all the same things you could do in a text channel in this thing. Oh, and it's got pop-up video players rather than doing the full embed thing. So I could sit here, I could go to another channel, it'll continue playing it rather than switching it around. Okay. Okay, stop. Okay, so of course, you've got the threads, you've got the replays, you've got everything that a standard text channel has in here. So, yeah. And I think even recently, they added the ability for multi-replies, so you can reply to multiple different people at the same time in your post. So you can reply up to 5 different people, 5 different posts in one post, and it'll do that. So it would list everyone off, and then you've also got private whispers in channels, so you can whisper to someone. Where is it? You can whisper to someone in the same channel, and of course moderators are going to be able to see when you whisper to someone so that they can moderate properly. But it's a pretty cool feature that you can like have a secret conversation between you and someone else in the same channel going on without anyone else knowing, or have side conversations just between you two to get help. So it, in a sense, doesn't clutter up the chat as much if you're doing one-on-one stuff with people, and you can take it to DMs without taking it to DMs, really. And Discord requires that you do that. The other one that you've got is a streaming channel. So you basically have stream just almost like you would like on Twitch or any other streaming platform. And then you've got the stream chat on the side. And so you're basically streaming whatever is on your screen to the channel, and you can share it that way, and things can get in your way, but you can invite people in. It's kind of like a voice chat, except everyone has to sit and listen to you. And yeah, that's basically it. So it'll show whatever you happen to show. If you've got the Gilded client downloaded, I believe it'll give you the option to pick a window rather than just a screen, if I recall correctly. The other feature that Gilded has is forums. So you can come in, you create a topic, and then you add in your body of whatever, and then you create, and then that creates a forum topic. So if you've seen like some of those newer, like fancier forums, then it's basically got that same interface, gives you the same ribbon of rich text options. But it should show a list of topics here that you can post. And you can have side discussions kind of like that in threading. And that would allow you to basically do different conversations like the old forums, but at the same time, it's just a channel of its own. And then you've got the media channel, which lets you upload images. You can look at it. You can have conversations on individual memes or videos. And much like anything else, it's got videos, it's got all kind of media options, and you can have your conversation there as well. Okay. I'm sitting here doing Okay. Shut up, me. Thank you. Let me out. Okay. So that's a media channel. It doesn't quite do the pop-up player like these text channels will when you hit play on a video, but it's got its uses. You've also got server docs, which lets you basically create a document of some sort. You can come in, edit it, and then other people can come in and comment on it or add their own input, depending on what permissions you put in there. Yes, discard my changes. I didn't make any. And then you've also got calendars, which lets you put up events and things and scheduling items so that you can have, like, actually, let me do this. So I can go into, like, this point, and I can go and add that as an all-day event. And then what? For location if you are coming. And so I can add basic info in. Let's see. Fill out form upon RSVP. So you can allow people to show that they're coming, and so when I hit that, I can go join. Okay, so it says going, so it gives you a list of who's going to what and who's going to be where. So you can schedule your movie nights and things like that, and it gives you a way to know how many to plan on coming, and I guess you can connect a form to it that allows people to give you a survey of what's going on as well. Oh, and much like Discord, if I go over here, where is it? I had it here somewhere. Oh, come on. I know someone else on YouTube complained that it's like, oh, it's really clear, but you can set your own custom status as well. So you can set it to not clear, what have you. I think it's mostly so slow because of, recording at the same time, but that's a whole other thing. But what Gilded also lets you do is on your profile page, it's basically a blog, and you can add your games list to it. You can, it's basically, people can look at this, and it's like your standard social media as well, while wrapped into a all-around chat get-together client, and it's mostly oriented toward gamers. But yeah, they can, if you've got, depending on what you've got connected, they can also see what, things you have connected to your different accounts as well. And then, of course, to certain things, there are only some things you can see. I've got no friends on here, obviously, so, whatever. But yeah, Gilded is kind of like a freaking all-around thing. And in addition to that, you've got your different server groups. So you can have your exclusive Patreon, whatever roles that has a group separate from like the other ones or the cool ones, and you can separate it all out like that. And yeah, it does the Twitch thing too, the embed, like I said. Oh. But yeah, you can organize different groups according to their needs with all these different channel options as well. I think there was one more thing. So yeah, you've got the standard big everyone. So if I go into the server settings, so subscriptions, if any of you were wondering, subscriptions work in an interesting way, different from Discord, and that when you pay a subscription, you're subscribing to the server rather than subscribing to a thing to get Discord Nitro and do this other cool thing. The other cool thing is that unlike Discord, if you join a server, you can use those emotes globally throughout Guilded. So you're not paying for Nitro to get to use some server's custom emotes on another server, but you do get other like bonus rewards that you can be set up for subscriptions. So I could enable subscriptions on this, and it would allow me to make money, and I could add custom different rewards and secluded groups for people to be in for giving me money, basically. Of course, Guilded takes their cut, but I get a cut rather than you paying for Discord Nitro, it boosting the server, and it just getting a small boost. I believe there's also a special boost for servers that do get subscriptions as well, because Guilded makes money off of that as well. But basically, you'd go to support whoever you're subscribing to in the server sense, kind of like Twitch does with their subscriptions to streamers. Then you've got built-in levels as a thing, so that whole XP thing is built into Guilded right away. You've got webhooks, much like Discord. You've got the widget that you can set up on a web page, just like Discord. You can import your Discord server as a template. So I believe there are some bots that people have set up that can bridge Discord and Guilded, but the bot API isn't all that like robust as of yet. But you can add Twitch, you can add Patreon. See notifications, emotes, custom emotes, of course. Can create groups. So if I go in here, I can create a group, and then I can give it an icon. I can give it all these other things, who's it open to, who's it not. And then if you don't want to be in a group, you can actually leave a group even though you have all the qualifications to be in that group. You can decide, hey, I don't want to need to be in this group, so I'm going to leave. So you've got Twitch bot built in, Patreon bot built in, you've got Howdy bot, and then you've got XP bot. And you can create your own bots with flows as well. So if I add a flow, I can go trigger, and let's see. I don't think it's got a YouTube one, but it does have a Patreon membership one built in. So we can go, let's see. Select subscription updated, any tier. We can go with silver, subscribed by any member role. We can assign that user role and do different things, create a forum topic about it. It gives you a lot of options without having to do much. So you've got a lot of options you can play with. It can be kind of tedious in the way it does it, but it's pretty cool that you can set this up right out of the box when you set up a new server. So we can assign a role, not that one. Pay Pig Guild. next, and save. And so if we named the bot, then it would have that, and that would be it. But I'm not gonna save the bot for now. I can do that later. But yeah, you can set up roles just like in Discord and that kind of a thing. You've got invites and whatnot, so people, if they're searching for your server, they can apply for it, and you can set up a survey for that kind of a thing. And yeah, Gilded is probably the more feature rich of all the alternatives, but it's very, very functional. So this next one is special. So Revolt is a very familiar interface. It is very, very new, but what's cool about it is actually open source. So it follows the same interface as Discord. They've basically, like, in essence, copied it, but with it being open source, you can look at the source code. It's not proprietary. They believe that you own your data, that kind of a thing. And so we can go to the GitHub, and there is actually, where is it? I think it was actually on the GitLab, but they do have a way in one of these. So if we go into that one, I believe it should have, no. Self-hosted. So right now it uses Docker for its self-hosting, but if you wanted to, even in the current state, you could set up Revolt as you could self-host a Revolt server that would allow you to set up your own different chats and whatnot, much like Discord. So if we go back to here, so I've actually set up an account with it. Stupid thing, come on. So if I open the web app, I've signed up. So you basically have to get an invite code. It's really easy to do, but you can see basically it follows much of the same stuff as Discord, and it does have a notes thing too, which is interesting. You can create DM groups and that kind of a thing. So I've been kind of playing around with it. It does have, so being as it's open source and you can self-host it, for some of the features like the banners and whatnot that Discord has that requires Discord Nitro, you can actually set some of that up on your own without having to pay for it, because if you self-host or if you're on Revolt servers, then it's already set up. A lot of the same things still exist. You've got roles, so if I go into this one, you can change the color, and it's very much the same as Discord. So you can see that the file upload is the same, the single emoji thing is just the same. Oh, YouTube embeds work just the same as Discord. Image embeds work just the same as Discord. It has... Okay. Gora! Stop. Okay. It has... So video embeds work just the same. It has code... blocks work just the same so far. The one interesting thing is voice chat doesn't quite work the same. So it almost seems like you're kind of doing the same thing as, Gilded. I don't think okay, yeah. So it's kind of like a DM voice chat in essence in here, which is okay. It's not bad. It's still very early on, so we'll see where they decide to go with it. But that was a really interesting thing. So Revolt's still very early development. There's a lot of features that aren't in it. So I mean, keep that in mind if you're going to decide to, but they do give you the source code that you can look at, which is nice. And they do let you change the appearance. And you've got theme overrides that you can mess with. so you can have completely custom colors and whatnot. There will not be because of it being open source, there will not be a restriction on using third-party clients, so you don't have to worry about that. Custom CSS is built right into it. I mean, it's pretty nifty, and people are working on translating it into different languages as well. So you've got all these standard things. I mean, they've implemented the profile thing before Discord did, but that's whatever. But you've got all those things. Revolt, you can self-host it in its current state if it's good enough for you. I was thinking about doing a Matrix server, but I might do a Revolt since this has a lot of the same things and it doesn't feel like it's a big difference. But there's not much more I can really say about Revolt. It's basically the same thing. It's pretty simple too. The UI is very simplified right now, not very fancy with many of the animations, but it has some. But yeah, if you found this interesting, helpful, if this gave you some ideas of what to do, don't forget to feed the algorithm with those crazy upcomies, and let me know if you really, really appreciated it, found it helpful. I wouldn't mind a extra buck or two sent my way. But if you can't, that's fine too. Spreading the word helps a lot and helps the channel grow and helps that kind of a thing. So you can let me know, and I will see you in the next one.